What's up, CT? I'm QB, and on today's episode, we're taking it to Decatur by way of New Orleans to cover the 5 solo discs of Lloyd. He's been in the game for a minute and delivered hits across his career, so we're gonna show the King of Hearts some street love. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed just yet, go ahead and hit that button while you're at it. Share it in the group chat, and super thanks are appreciated as well. With all that out of the way, let's get to it. Number 5. Lessons in Love. Lloyd's third LP lands in the bottom slot. Conceived as a concept album by which Professor Polite would guide ladies through his special curriculum, originally titled Sexual Education, Lessons in Love debuted at number 7 on the Billboard 200 and number 1 on the top R&B and hip-hop albums chart. But with just 51,000 units worth of first week sales, he had taken quite a dip from his previous project, which was about double that. He released this record from his Young Goldie music label, an offshoot from the Inc. and Universal. Most of the production was handled by serial collaborators Big Reese, Jasper Cameron, and Eric Hudson, but if you look closely, you'll catch some credits from Polo the Don, Carrie Hilson, and Adonis Shropshire, among others. We get the 2008 versions of Ludacris, Lil Wayne, and Plies on his first, second, and third singles, but they weren't enough to crack the top half of the Billboard 100. How We Do It in an A at 77, though the UK remix, complete with UK hip-hop artist Sway DeSaffo and an updated chorus, could be why the track did a little better across the pond, topping out at 75 on the charts over there. And let us know if you were rocking with this one back in the day. Girls Around the World, which leaked from Lil Wayne's The Drought Is Over Part 5, landed at 64, but got a little more love in the hip hop and R&B chart at number 13. This one may be Lloyd's most remixed song, or at least the remix with the most guest appearances. It's probably easier to list who's not on it, but here we go. That We the Best remix features DJ Khaled, The Game, T.I., Young Jock, Rick Ross, Ace Hood, Young Dro, Pitbull, and Busta Rhymes. Sheesh. Needless to say that all those verses weren't making it to the radio, so they cut that list in half, and Lloyd is only on the chorus. If you're really into sax, then you may note that Girls Around the World samples from the Soul Searchers track Ashley's Roach Clip, and Weezy borrows from Rakim's verse on Paid in Full. The final single, Year of the Lover, was not for radio as the lyrics suggest, as it peaked on the bubbling under chart. Without sufficient promotion, it lacked the momentum to make it to the main Billboard 100, didn't get a video, and scrapped any further plans to market Lessons in Love. Though, they did still release a Lessons in Love 2.0. If you check that out, let us know what you thought of that one. Okay, that's a lot of numbers. For deep cuts on the original, hit play on Sex Education, Have My Baby, Love Making 101, and Heart Attack. Skip Lose Your Love and I'm With It. After 5 years with the Inc., Lloyd left the label to focus on himself and his growth. He might have been down, but he wasn't out. Number 4, Southside. In 2004, Lloyd released his debut album for Murder, the Inc. Records. With Ja Rule and Ashanti serving as franchise players for the label, Lloyd was thought to be a promising rookie when he was discovered and signed by Irv Gotti. But Southside was not the success they hoped it would be. Though first week sales of 67,000 doesn't tell the whole story. Even with years in the industry, Lloyd was still young and hadn't really built his own identity or persona in the game. So Irv gave him one. A gangsterish balladeer whose golden voice made him equally at home in the streets and in the bedroom. Gotti even opens the album on ATL Tales/Ride With Me with police sirens, piano, and his best head of the family impressions and clips of advice for the young crooner before getting to the main track featuring Ja Rule. And that had to be at least part of the plan. Throw the murder machine at the project. Starting with Gotti Camp mainstay producers Jasper Cameron, Demi Doc, and Chink Santana. Then add in some auxiliary collabs with Rodney Jerkins, Sean Garrett, and Devon Evans, among others. Lloyd himself has writing credits on 12 of the 16 tracks, despite Ashanti lacing his debut single and the whole squad turning up in the Bronx Tale-inspired video. Title track Southside was only a moderate success. It peaked at number 24 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 13 on the top R&B and hip-hop songs chart. Lloyd and Gotti took one more crack at it with the follow-up single Hey Young Girl, which borrowed from Slick Rick's Hey Young World. The song was alright, but it didn't move the needle on Billboard either, going no further than number 61. Besides the Billboard performance, the deep cuts often fall just short of being memorable beyond the first listen and don't age particularly well. That goes for Street Dreams and Trance featuring Lil Wayne at least. The Miss Lady interlude is a nice dedication to his mom, and My Life is good for delivering Lloyd's origin story. But in production and vocal performance, it sounds just like the preceding track Hustler, where he again plays into a sort of mafioso role while trying to balance that with being a smitten student and lover boy on songs like I'm a G and This Way. The album would give you whiplash if it wasn't for the overall down-tempo feel of most of the songs. An admirable first at bat, not exactly a home run, but enough to get on base. Following this album, Lloyd made the rounds as a hook man with features on 8 Ball and MJG's Forever and Tango Red's Let's Cheat. What's clear here is Lloyd's versatility, expertly navigating street records and cheap records. If you haven't heard these songs in a while, definitely run them back. While you're at it, do yourself a favor and check out the Tango Red Cheaters inspired video. They even got Joey Greco to appear for real. Lloyd has some other looks too, like on Huey's When I Hustle. Y'all comment your favorite Lloyd feature. Alright, to the top 3. Number 3, Street Love. A little more love in the street, Lloyd's sophomore effort was much better received than his debut, selling 145,000 in the first week, smashing the 67K from Southside, and ushering in a number 2 debut on both the Billboard 200 and R&B hip hop albums chart. Some of the best numbers of his career. To create the Street Serenades, he continued working with Big Reese, Jasper Cameron, and Seven Aurelius, who produced 7 tracks. Jazzy Faye has a couple, with his Show Enough Records along with the Inc. and Universal Motown being responsible for this release. And Mr. Brian Michael Cox took care of the intro. It's a welcome change from the Herb Gotti-infused opening on his debut. With 3 years in the game as a solo artist, Lloyd projects more confidence in himself and in his music. Here, Lloyd pops a few ad-libs before swaggering onto the track like the Lil Wayne-assisted lead single You. Word on the street is that Tango Red was originally on the track, only to find himself replaced by Weezy for the official release, which Lloyd apparently leaked himself to get radio play. And it worked. You became Lloyd's first and just second top 10 single for Lil Wayne, if you can believe that. By reaching #1 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop chart, You became both Lloyd and Lil Wayne's first #1 single there. The video even spent 34 days at #1 on 106, before they retired the video after 65 days on the countdown. Get It Shawty came next. If you knew this one was produced by Usher's younger brother James Lackey, aka J Lack, give yourself a pat on the back. He also produced the album cut Hazel. What's special to us about Get It Shawty though, is that it's Lloyd's first single without a feature to do numbers. 16 on the Billboard Hot 100 and 4 on the R&B and Hip Hop charts, and one that should have proved that he could do it on his own. He even got a placement on Grand Theft Auto 4. Unfortunately, he ended up going nowhere fast. The follow-up, Player's Prayer, while a fan favorite, didn't keep the momentum going. Certified, Valentine, and the title track Street Love are worthy adds to your mid-tempo ballad playlist. Overall, Street Love wasn't a completely new sound for him, but was strong enough with the combination of lyrics, production, and promotion to connect with audiences on a new level, enough to go gold. #2. True. Lloyd's latest full-length release came in 2018, dropped on his Young Goldie music label with distro from Empire, and followed up a 2016 EP by the same name. You could tell by the cover that Lloyd was ready to bear it all, to get back to basics and just deliver good music. He wanted to offer this collection of his, quote, most thoughtful and love-inspired music, and he sold 85,000 in the first week doing it. He kicks off his shortest project at just 11 tracks in a succinct 45 minutes, with a note of appreciation to all the people who've gotten him to that point, and with wise words about blessings from Goody Mob's Cujo Goody. The features continue with Currency on Blown, about blazing up and drifting off with your partner. The at this point customary Wayne verse on Holding, My Bestie with 7 Streeter, you can guess what that one's about. Rick Ross also has one on there. But the most surprising collabs come from the Spelman Women's Choir on a song dedicated to his sister, and Lloyd was in his Khaled bag, or vice versa, when he put his infant son River on Infinity. If you're counting, that's more than half the project containing a guest appearance. So even though he was independent, Lloyd wasn't skimping. He still had Jasper Cameron on the team, who along with Jay Reed produced and co-wrote most of the album with Lloyd. With that said, the shining stars on this album, which also happen to be the singles, are Caramel, an upbeat but well within his mid-tempo bag song that's still a bop, and was remixed with the City Girls, so you know that went up. And True, produced by Justice League, went platinum as a single and ends the album the way it started. Aside from skipping maybe Porcelain, it's a well-executed, intimate look behind the golden locks and into the heart of the young king. #1. King of Hearts. After 3 albums, Lloyd left the Inc. and signed up with Zone 4 Entertainment. Imagining a world where Polo would be the Timberlands to Lloyd's Justin Timberlake, or JD to his Usher, they got to work on King of Hearts. And Polo the Don wasn't playing around. Clearly putting all his eggs in the Lloyd basket, Jones will forego his work with other artists and his usual rounds on radio to be in the studio with his new protege. Serving obviously as EP, Polo produced or co-produced 14 of the 15 cuts on the original pressing, and 15 to 17 if you got the deluxe. This Lloyd project, like the ones before it, did not skimp on the features. From the jump, we get guest appearances from The Game on the intro, produced by 1500 or Nothing, who had also worked with Lloyd when he featured on Nipsey Hussle's Feeling Myself. Then 3 Stacks and Wayne on the second track / third single, Dedication to My Ex, Missed That, and another few features from Breezy, Jeezy, and 2 Chainz. We have rankings on all of them for you to check out too. Despite having one of his lowest selling first weeks at just 26,000 units, King of Hearts was a top 10 debut on Billboard 200. It was #10, but still. Lead single Lay It Down, co-written by Polo, Esther Dean, and B. Bozeman, benefits from a sample of Patti LaBelle's Love, Need, and Want You. Queen Patty even laces a remix of the song paying tribute to Aretha Franklin and Tina Marie. Lloyd's songs are always getting looks on these remixes, even if he's not on them for real. If you have a favorite Lloyd remix, let us know in the comments. Lay It Down was a good look for Lloyd too, peaking at #7 on the R&B and Hip Hop chart, and #4 on 106 & Park. The follow-up, Cupid, featuring Awesome Jones, as if Polo wasn't on the record enough, this one stopped short of making it to the Billboard 100, reaching #2 on the bubbling chart. The aforementioned Dedication to My Ex fared better at 79, and even more so in the UK, with a lyrically cleaned up version that made it to the top of the UK hip hop and R&B chart. For album cuts to run back, hit Naked, Be the One featuring Trey Songz and Young Jeezy, Shaking It for Daddy, and World Cry featuring R. Kelly, Carrie Hilson, Kanan, and Lloyd's best Michael Jackson Heal the World impression. King of Hearts has the most balance of love, fun, and street records, showing off both Lloyd's lyrical adaptability and vocal acuity. Lloyd has been mostly quiet these days. Just look, this man hasn't tweeted since the week he opened his account. So go over there and show him some love, tag this video to make sure he sees it. We'd appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a list. I'm QB for Culturalist Theory. I'll see you next time.